We are out here at a surprisingly calm Emporia, Kansas country club. It's round 2 of 5. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two Hot Geese.
And this is your 2022 World Championships. Country Club is a much more wide open track, but still OB lining both sides of the fairways. Kristin Tattar, Henna Blomroos, Ella Hansen, and Jennifer Allen on our lead card. We're going to watch them throw some huge shots out here.
Kristin Tattar, probably the most favored player to win. She did win out here at the Dynamic Disc Open. She shot a 1024 rated course record yesterday at Jones Supreme.
Double digits down, unheard of and unbelievable. It's set up for big low numbers out here as well. Hole 1 is a doozy to start out with at 999 feet, out of bounds all the way down the left and right hand side, but it's a wide enough fairway that you can get really aggressive. What you want to avoid is getting tangled up in any of the trees or bushes on the right hand side, and then that out of bounds green on the left just down by the basket. This hole is absolutely birdieable, and we had pretty calm conditions.
Professional Disc Golf World Championships continue on with our FPO LEAD card. First on the box, shooting 58 strokes on the weekend from Estonia, and sponsored by Latitude 64, Kristen Datar.
So are we going to talk about her sleeves? Because we didn't yesterday, and they're fantastic.
They're back. Back to back, baby. I wish there was a little more wind action on them.
Kristen always looking put together.
Yeah,
and always
sidearm off the tee.
Yeah, it's her rive. It's smart. The main mistake you see is people trying to go really big and they fade out of bounds left.
That's really all you need to get the birdie as well.
60 strokes on the weekend thus far from Finland and representing Innovadis, Henna Blomroos.
Always exciting to watch Henna play. She's going to be throwing a destroyer here. You can see how much moisture is on the ground. You don't see as many skips as you normally do in April.
Yeah, it was like playing in a puddle.
That's a really smooth shot. Just turns over that Star Destroyer.
And finishes out in the middle. Wow, that was a crush.
Yeah.
Third on the tee, shooting 61 strokes on the weekend from Seattle, Washington, and representing Discmania, Ella Hansen.
Is this Ella's first appearance on lead card at Worlds?
Yeah.
I believe.
First of many, I'm sure.
Her putting stats yesterday, she was 64% inside the circle, so that just goes to show how big of drives she was throwing and how expertly placed she was putting them.
Yeah, this is a DD3. Looks like the most casual throw ever.
Today, shooting 62 strokes on the weekend from Gilbert, Arizona, representing Innovadis, Zuka Carts, and Grip Equipment, Jennifer Allen.
Jennifer Allen historically doing very well at DDO and GBO in 4 years. She always performs really well at Country Club, but gets really aggressive on these holes. Sometimes the out of bounds can come back and get her.
Good luck out there. Have a great day. Be good to each other.
That was a wraith from Jen. Everyone, there's a ditch in the middle. I'm not sure if you kind of saw that, but a lot of women that don't have quite as much power are landing right around there, and these ladies are well past it. Should be pretty routine. Just stay in the middle, and then the upshot, there's a little bit of, challenges, but I'm betting we'll see some birdies here.
At 999 feet, this is the longest opening hole on tour for the FPO. Next closest is at OTB at 842 feet. So starting out with the bomb, it is the 4th hardest hole of the track.
Henna throwing an Anheuser and catching some branches. She'll have a few trees maybe in the way on her last approach shot, but good distance.
Fun fact about Ella, she has never been within 5 strokes of the leader at a major before this week, and she's only 3 back right now after 1 round.
Good shot with a PD there from Ella. This is Kristen's third, just going all kinds of forehands up the fairway. This one's a fortress. Wow, nice. Just look at it bite down in that grass too. Kind of nice not to worry about too much ground play when you're throwing fairway driver or driver into the green. Henna with a pretty little floating Anheuser putter shot. Jen going to the forehand.
Oh, we don't see that very much, and that was really nice looking.
She's been kind of leaning on it more. She said she learned how to throw them, like teaching kids to play. So like her 150-foot forehands are feeling pretty good, she said.
Ella opting for it as well. That's kind of crazy to see both of them throwing little forehand chips, especially with that kind of treacherous bush inside the circle.
Henna with a bit of a lackluster effort there for her birdie putt. Jen just a bit left on hers. Ella getting a nice easy birdie. It's a good putt. And Kristen, basically a tap in. You can see those bullseye whiskers there.
And what a way to start the day.
Hole 2 is a pretty challenging tee shot. You see the out of bounds kind of dead grass, it looks like on the left area. It kind of wraps around and then goes all the way up this left hand side. Your second shot, you want to get just up this hill as far as you can. You can definitely get a putt. You see that big tree on the right come into play, but realistically, if you just get your tee shot past the 2 trees in the out of bounds area, you can definitely get up there for a look. I like the forehand a lot. You can see that out of bounds line kind of takes that out of play.
Yeah, the further left you end up, the easier it is to approach the basket. So that got probably a little more ground play than she had hoped for, but you can definitely still get up and down. It's just more of a blind approach. Oh,
Ella going roller.
come on, flip up.
That's a DD3, and it has so much distance, but it's coming back. And it's so far. Wow, okay. So
I thought that had no chance.
disc golf, me too. Really good trust from Ella.
And I mean, it's pin high every bit of 550 feet.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Uphill.
Henna with the low line, taking those trees out of play. You do see a lot of ladies kind of hit those limbs and drop, so that was well done. I like all the different lines. Let's see what Jen's got. Going destroyer. And this is kind of a typical shot where you just kind of try to sneak it through the trees.
Henna probably around 280 from the basket, maybe a little less than that.
Yeah, uphill though, and having to throw this kind of stalling Anheuser shot. She makes it look pretty easy. It'll be maybe an awkward putt though in those bushes.
Yeah, those bushes are thick. There is not much to work with. I'd watched a couple of my card members have to pitch out today.
Jen with a Mako 3 heading over into that rough as well.
Oof.
Kristen definitely pinched here. I wouldn't bet against her though. That's a rive.
Really nice
to
little
circle 2.
Yeah, really nice little floaty shot.
Yeah, good angle control too. And Ella just, what a roller. Unbelievable.
Just a chip, stand still.
She does leave it a little bit short, but is inside the circle. Jen with not a lot here. It's a good effort. Kristen with a very wide straddle.
Just a little bit short. There were only 8 birdies on the day today. You can see why it can be tough. All of that is inside the circle.
Ella for her birdie.
There we go.
Nice.
Woo.
Back-to-back birdie start.
That basket
For
caught that
Ella.
right side. It doesn't usually like that. Nice, 2 in a row to start out at Country Club. That feels good.
Yeah, getting a stroke on Kristen too in the first 2 holes. Not bad.
Hole 3, this played as the easiest hole all day at 466 feet downhill. These trees make it really tough to go for it. There used to be a hyzer line, but the leafy branches on the right side don't really allow that anymore. A big distance sidearm can get down to the green pretty effectively. Most people are just trying to keep it in bounds and then dealing with whatever long putt or short approach they have down to the green. There is out of bounds that wraps around behind the basket in that little ditch, and then of course the cart path on the right. Big thanks to Flight Factory Discs for sponsoring the coverage all week. You can check them out. They're from Pensacola, Florida, my hometown, or at flightfactorydisc.com. They have over 15,000 discs, accessories, apparel, and they're just all around pretty awesome people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ella with a really nice forehand. With this being kind of that tweener distance, par 3.5, I really like the forehand and not getting, too aggressive. Ooh. Although that's like oddly aggressive.
Yeah, I think that was turned.
Yeah. But distance-wise, you really don't need too much off the tee to birdie it.
No, absolutely not.
Kristen is safe and pretty far down there. Henna going to show us the backhand.
This is a very aggressive line. Turning towards out of bounds, but it checks up nicely. You can see even with a distant shot up the middle, it's still outside of putting range.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a few people could get an eagle putt on this, but it would take a lot.
Man, I wanted to see that finish.
Yeah.
I loved the angle on that.
Jen will still have a chance to birdie here. She's probably, 225 or something out.
Landing short like that does make the approach very difficult because it is pretty steep downhill, and getting it to check up on that green takes some real finesse.
And you can't really throw it on any kind of angle. You just have to throw it straight in between the 2 trees. Ella just laying up inside the circle. Kristen coming at it from an angle you don't usually see. She almost got pin high.
Yeah, that distance sidearm is impressive.
And Henna coming at it from the opposite side. No problem.
There was one eagle today. Maria Oliva getting the 2.
Nice. Good putt from Jen there. Her first birdie of the round. Ella right side. Gonna have to settle for par.
Some of the stats today are maybe a little bit funky. We had D Pool play Country Club yesterday and C Pool play it today. Everyone's in the same division, but we played with different conditions, and it's including on the stats the D Pool's information from yesterday. So it has information from the whole field from this course, but from 2 different days. Just take that in mind whenever I am rattling off stats.
Let's check in with the rest of the field. Kristen and Ella holding strong, both 2 under. Juliana Corver, Missy Gannon also 2 under. And then Paige Pierce shooting up 4 down through 6. That is a very hot score. Own 2 down through 6. Deanne Carey 3 down through 7. I will say that the front 9 is way more scoreable than the back. I feel like I usually say that, but I think it's super true out here.
100%.
Hole 4 is a par 4 for us. It's 598 feet. You want to throw your first shot ideally past this little ditch here. A little bit more on the right side is better because then you can actually see the tee. If you're on the left side, this kind of hill going up to the golf green that's out of bounds can get in your line of sight. There is out of bounds that wraps on the right side and all the way behind the pin, so it can be a bit of a touchy upshot. Super gettable. I really like this. The men are playing it as a shorter par 3, but they kept it as a par 4 for the ladies, and I think that is a great choice.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite holes, I think, on the country club track. I really like that you're having to throw different shots than normal. This big turnover is a really fun one to commit to, and then the second shot's kind of blind, but with very fair out of bounds.
Henna starting it out wide, never quite gets the turn, but it's just fine up there, actually.
Yeah.
I wonder if she wants to be there.
Yeah, it's absolutely crushed.
It was a destroyer.
Is that almost like jump putt range?
Well, I mean, she has to throw across the golf green probably maybe 100 feet, but
Yeah.
it's a straight shot. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Jen doing more the typical play you see,
Wow.
turning one over, getting way down there with her wraith.
That is
Yeah, super far.
absolutely crushed.
Right, that's like, I'm telling you, you see that ditch, that's where a lot of people land. We're just watching.
And she just went 150 feet past
The
it.
cream of the crop here. You get a little nervous when it turns and leaves your line of sight, but the more you turn it, the better it is. Ella just doing the same thing as Jen.
Wow.
They're almost going OB
Y'all are
golf
watching.
green.
Yeah, y'all are watching like a totally different game than a lot of the FPO players are doing at this point. These are really unbelievable distance shots.
Kristen showing us kind of the touchy nature of the upshot. You see that hill kind of get in the way. It's a little bit blind. Henna, she can see the very top of the flag, it looks like, and just throws a little hyzer shot. I would love to see her play this hole again. I assume that was probably intentional.
Yeah,
it's all safe over there.
It could be. I do like that game plan.
Ella just chipping a spike forehand.
Listed play is one of the easier holes on the day, averaging under par.
Jen just jump putting it up here.
Crazy.
So easy. Kristen from Circle's Edge for her birdie. Nice.
Clean.
That gets Kristen to 3 down through 4. Ella with a birdie, also 3 down through 4. Henna, 2 birdies in a row there.
Really showing that you have to be under par on this front 9 to be competitive.
Jen getting a 2 under herself.
When you first sign up for a PDGA membership, you're given a PDGA number. Your PDGA number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdga.com/join.
Hole 5, another very gettable par 4. 523 feet. The first shot is downhill. The second shot is slightly uphill. This OB pinches really tight in the middle, but the cart path that goes across the center of the fairway is not out of bounds, just the one on the right-hand side. Your second shot is usually just a little backhand chip or a forehand chip, depending on where you land off the tee. You have some low-hanging branches to deal with, but it's a fairly flat green, and we didn't have much wind to contend with today.
I love the cart path to nowhere on the left.
Legit where the sidewalk ends.
Man, Kristen throwing a ton of forehands off the tee. That one gets away from her and skips. Grass is drying out, I guess. It was definitely a little on the inside. And I'm going to show us the backhand here.
Ooh, that pushes so straight for so long.
Yeah, that is smashed. Should be hopefully an easy birdie for her.
What disc was that?
Destroyer.
Oh, okay. It just looked like it was moving like a slower disc.
Yeah, it did. Jen throwing a Wraith. Getting a lot of turn on it, but it does come back in bounds. And she's way up there.
Yeah, thankfully it lands on that hyzer angle at the very end.
Yeah, that right side is nice too. Kind of takes those trees out of your approach shot. Ella throwing a cloud breaker. Kind of flirts with the OB as well, but she's just fine.
Hole 4 and 5 are two of the 3 easiest holes on the track, so these are 2 that you want to really buckle in and get the 3s and move out.
Kristen just playing for par at this point with the out of bounds stroke. That was a good approach. Ella just throwing a big P2 spiky shot. Solid approach. Definitely a little bit of a putt to make there, though, for her birdie.
Ella's style and her approach to the game is so different from a lot of the FPO competitors. How she doesn't throw with that linear straight shot. She like takes to the sky almost.
Yeah, that ultimate style is definitely getting a lot of air under the disc with a lot of spin. Jen with a kind of jump putt approach.
Another super solid putt from Kristen.
And a great save.
Henna for birdie. Oh, yeah.
3 in a row for Henna.
Nice birdie from Ella as well.
Yeah, 4 down through 5. Not bad, huh?
Wow, what a start.
Yeah.
Everyone looking super sharp on our lead card.
It's a turkey for Jen, too. And everyone's 3 or 4 down. Wow. Hole 6 is a change from the Dynamic Disc Open. There's out of bounds on the left-hand side. That golf green on the right is OB. We're going to the right. You can see that pin on the left is where we used to go. Now it's more of a turnover shot. The basket is a little bit elevated on this little stump. Really calls for either a really straight sidearm or you see a lot of backhand turnovers. You have to get around that tree. You can see is right in line with the basket.
It says 300 feet, but I feel like it plays farther.
Just a bit.
Yeah, it's
a
uphill.
little uphill.
Oh.
Yeah, not that far, though. Henna going deep. That was rock 3, too.
Dang.
Just rock 3, 350
Crushed.
feet.
Yeah.
Whoops. Jen going leopard 3, getting just inside the circle. Guess what this is? Just like
a putter.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I kind of guessed that as a joke.
I know. It's a Lux Link.
Ugh. Ella blows my mind. And Kristen with a nice looking sidearm.
Yeah, I really like seeing the sidearm on this. You're not going to see a ton of people throwing sidearms out here because it is that really straight power sidearm that Kristen obviously has.
Ella from circle 2 on the elevated basket.
Would have made it on a normal basket.
Maybe she should throw a mid like the rest of us. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you were short.
I threw a fairway driver.
Yeah, right. Henna leaves her par save a bit short. Jen for her birdie also would have made it if it was a normal height.
Ella just won the distance championships at the field events the day before Worlds started throwing, I believe, is it just under 500
Yeah, it's
feet?
495. Yeah,
495 feet.
I believe with a DD3.
And with not the best conditions for a distance shot.
Yeah, I think it was a right to left crosswind. Henna with the bogey there. We saw Kristen miss her putt. She'll be taking a par. Yeah, none of our lead card ladies getting this one.
But I bet they will on the next one. Hole 7 is interesting. Just this tee shot is a little bit intimidating. It's a very narrow gap, but it's pretty close to the tee pad, so you do feel like you can get kind of aggressive. A lot of people are going to bail out to the left here, but I think some of our lead card ladies will try to get down to the bottom of this hill. Your second shot is up to the basket. It's a new pin location, slightly tucked away under the low-hanging branches of these big trees. If you land further back and further to the left, like a lot of people do to bail out through this gap, it makes it really tough to be able to get to the green. You have a tendency to hit the tree branches and drop down into circle 2.
So you're actually throwing from out of bounds, and you need to cross that sidewalk that Jen crossed, and that's what the drop zone is for if you don't make it out at all. So Jen is inbounds, I think, just barely. I heard that Ella did this play where she just barely chips a sidearm through that gap and then goes huge on the second shot.
Which that's something that only really Ella can do.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. This is like the typical play that you see here from Kristen, where you just throw something with some good stability kind of low out the gap and get some skips.
One thing that Kristen can do from there, though, is she can throw that distant sidearm up the right-hand side.
She'll have choices, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people don't necessarily have that option. It's still about, what'd you say from there, 280 to the green? Maybe a little
Maybe
less.
a little far. I don't think...
Or, I mean, yeah, sorry.
A little
I meant
farther,
more, yeah.
but like it doesn't... It's a little downhill.
Yep.
So you don't have to throw max power for sure.
Jen trying to get her second shot up to the green, but stops in circle 2.
It was pretty well done for how short her drive was. Okay, so Ella probably taking to the skies like we talked about here. So she goes, let's see, DD3 and gets caught up pretty badly there.
Thankfully, she can still scramble a par, no problem.
And Mad was right here. We're going to see this left side play with the sidearm. Wow. Perfect. Kristen throwing a verdict on her second shot, parking it.
Man, they're far down here. Usually that out of bounds is a little bit more in your head.
Yeah, Henna's drive's probably the farthest I've seen.
Yes, definitely. Actually, I watched Heidi today throw all the way down to the tree where Ella is right now on her drive. It was unbelievable.
That's so cool.
It skipped on the green the entire way. It was just like a worm burner. Jen for her third shot.
That'll be a par.
And this hole played a little easier than I expected. That tee shot can be rough, but it's one of the top 4 easiest holes of the day.
I mean, yeah, downhill, and as long as you get your tee shot off clean, like you have a chance to birdie, you know? Henna and Kristen taking their birdies. Jen and Ella gonna settle for par here.
Moving on to legendary hole 8.
Yeah, classic. It's a par 5, 886 feet. The cart path on the right is out of bounds. You can see all of the flags and the out of bounds line on the left. You want to throw your drive just anywhere in bounds. The more aggressive you get, the easier the second shot gets. A lot of ladies landing just at the top of the hill or maybe slightly past it. You can definitely birdie it, but going downhill and these trees in your way, it leaves a lot of really tricky lines. I think ideally a sidearm is the biggest gap on the left to get to the pin for the final shot, but it's kind of just, you know, take what you can get. You see a lot of ladies disking down and just trying to stay in the fairway.
Playing for par.
Yeah, you really have to get a huge drive, I think, and it's nice to be a little bit left also.
It's also
for the second shot.
Yeah, even if you do get 2 really good shots off, like we see Kristen absolutely demolish this drive, the third shot can be tough because of those low-hanging branches. At DDO, they were a little thinner, a little higher, less leaves on them, but this year they are very low. You almost have to throw at the ground from where you land your second shot.
Man, Henna with a huge shot here. Trickles inbounds.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, that's what you have to do, though. You like really have to hang it out over OB the whole way. You can see how the fairway slopes from right to left. If you don't hang it out wide, it does tend to get some skips and go OB. Like Jen's is a little bit in danger here.
A lot of it. That thing's landing OB in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe there was a little bit of a right to left crosswind as well. So if you showed the underside of that disc, it was going to push you just a little bit. I kind of like the low play like we see Ella doing here, but the lower it is, the more linear, and sometimes it can get skips. Hers checks up nicely, though, in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, Ella took some steam off and just threw a PD kind of lower and a little bit chiller than some of the other ladies, just trying to stay
chiller
in bounds. Yeah, man, just gonna throw this PD, you know.
Kristen has a big advantage here, being able to throw forehands on the next couple of shots, because the right side can be a little tricky with low-hanging tree branches and just some big trees in general.
Yeah, just over the crest of the hill is a really good spot to land, but we'll see. There's definitely some choices to make once you get there. Jen with a really great shot, good distance.
Going OB on this one feels awful. It feels like the start of something. You have to really let yourself dial it in.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ella calling for this to sit. This is probably in the water.
Yeah.
Oh. No, short of the water. She is way down there and will have a chance to save a par. I think if you do kind of push that left side OB, it does leave you with a little bit cleaner upshot.
Yeah, you're down at the bottom of the hill looking at the basket instead of looking at the bottom or looking at the ground under those low-hanging branches.
Henna just throwing a standstill star ABRX3 upshot.
And this is a perfect sidearm line. Kind of have to push the OB on the left.
Oh, that gets through pretty nicely.
Yeah.
That was a verdict again from Kristen. She's up there for a birdie putt.
This played is the most difficult hole of the day.
Huh.
You can see when you're taking this many shots with this much OB, how it can get out of control for really anybody. Jen recovering really well and giving herself a putt to save par.
Super well done. And, I mean, it's so hard. I'd be curious if any card got out of here without even one OB stroke.
No
you know?
way.
Like,
absolutely not.
Impossible, right?
I think so.
Henna with a really smooth upshot there.
This hole always averages over par. Even with a shorter basket this year, still averaging at a stroke over the par.
Oh, the par.
The par.
Ella with a smooth layup. Kristen for a 4. Nice. Wow. She is 4 down on the round?
And that,
wait, 5 down on the round?
That is a flex.
Yeah, she's 5 down.
Yeah,
let's see it again.
Yeah, let's watch the GK replay. Yes. Woo. Oh. Does a little dance on the rim. One of only 7 people to get this birdie.
Awesome. Jen for really phenomenal par save here. Great putt. Basically a birdie. Henna for her birdie. Yep.
Man, the fact that we're seeing like 3 birdies technically without the OB stroke is crazy. Getting there in 4 is so tough.
And Ella saving the par as well. 2 par saves with OBs.
Unbelievable.
Whoa.
Oof. And then we go to hole 9. Usually the second most difficult hole of the day. Today, it's in the top 5. You want to just get through this gap. If you don't, it is out of bounds. If you don't make it through the gap, there is a drop zone. If you go out of bounds on the cart path on the left, anywhere past that, you can take it from where it last crossed. All of the tree line on the right is casual. And then there's this pinch point in the middle where your second shot normally lands. It wraps all the way around to the left side of the basket, and it is tucked back in some trees for a nice little shady green. Birdieable for sure, but lots of out of bounds.
I mean, birdieable with like putters or mid-range throws on all the throws even. It's just really technical. And the out of bounds rules are friendlier now. It does encourage you to really kind of pipe something.
Yeah, to be aggressive off the tee.
Yeah, because even if you're... Ooh. OB left, like you can progress forward instead of the drop zone. So all of that's inbounds, but it's nightmare fuel.
And that's going to be really tough to get a birdie from there. She's at best going for par.
I was
here.
going to say probably tough to get the par. She might have to pitch out. Henna going champion rock 3. I think a mid-range is probably the most popular choice off the tee.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good.
Yeah, riding the right side just how you want.
Yeah, great distance. Anything past that weird, I don't know, wooden box area is pretty nice. Left side's a little bit better than the right, but you'll take anything in bounds. Smooth shot from Jen here. Just needs to bite.
Oh.
Dang it.
She'll be able to take it from there, though, instead of having to work back towards the drop zone. It's about 100 feet behind where she last crossed.
Yeah, that was a T-bird. So you can see the fairway driver definitely like getting a little bit of extra ground action. Ella throwing right towards out of bounds. Tries to check up, but doesn't.
Exact same spot cross, too.
Kristen with a little bit of a window. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, I think she's out in the middle. Oh,
okay.
Nope.
Well, she can save par. Do you think that they brought this out of bounds in closer, or is this how it's been?
Oh, no, I feel like it's closer.
Yeah, it didn't used to come so much in the corner, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Maybe it did at DDO, but like in previous years, it was closer to that flag, the blue flags.
Yes, I feel like you could be a lot more aggressive on your second shot. Now they're kind of pushing you to be aggressive off the tee and then have a touchy second shot.
That was a great shot from Jen. You really have to get over on it on the backhand just like that. Like more than you think.
I really like this change in the OB rules because like now we get to watch them be super aggressive here.
Yeah. If you go from the drop zone, you're basically laying up before the pinch point and then leaving a really difficult final approach shot. Henna way up here, yeah.
Holy cow.
She's going backhand. Needs to make sure to get a lot of turn on this, and she does. Beautiful. Just how you draw it up.
Kristen throwing
4.
her 4th.
Harp up shot. This is leaking a little right. Drop short. Somewhere in circle 2 land.
Ella just throwing a standstill chip. Wow.
Pretty nice. With the OB stroke, though, she needs this for par. Well, like, needs to. Yep. You all get it.
Needs to land it.
She did it. It's par.
She did it.
Jen as well.
Just jump putting to save her par.
Yeah, I think it was a good change to the rules. It really speeds up the play, too. This can definitely be a backup hole when you got a lot of people going drop zone. Henna just looking to put this close for another birdie. Solid shot. Kristen to save par. Circle 2 edge. It's going to be her first bogey of the round. She'll be at 4 under on the front 9. Nice save, Jen.
Yeah, great par save.
2 OB par 5 saves in a row from Jen.
Mind bending.
Kind of the second time we've seen that today from Henna. Just missing right. Come back her for par here. There we go.
It's nice to see. She's got some really good rhythm, though, on the putting stroke. If she sticks to it, I think we'll see a lot more putts dropping from Henna.
So Henna 4 down on the round. Kristen's 4 down. Ella's 4 down. And Jen is 3 down. Pretty darn good.
Yeah, great showing from our lead card so far. Really clean. Kristen almost getting through bogey free, but oh, look, I didn't realize there was only 2 bogeys on the whole card.
Pretty nice.
Wow.
We're going to see a few more on betting on the back.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing. And we'll check in with the leaderboard as well and see how everyone else is doing. I bet everyone's under par, for sure.
Yep. Kristen, Henna, Ella 4 down, Own 6 down.
Yeah, she went 4 down on the front 9 after starting with a double bogey. She did the same thing yesterday. And she's the only player to do that this season. And she's done it twice in 2 days.
Twice in a row. God.
Unbelievable.
She's my freaking favorite.
She's a hero.
Big thanks to our FPO VIP members. Also, everyone, GK Pro is doing a $150K giveaway. It's an all-expenses paid trip to the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships. Check out the description for details on how to enter. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We are your 2 hot geese.
Huh?
Honk.